Hi, welcome to clickmeproject.com. Now we are going to see the title of Developing an Intelligent Infrastructure for Transaction Management in Mobile Data Grid. First of all, we are going to see the abstract of the process. Here, the grid architecture is the fast-growing distributed computing environment in nowadays. In the sight of varying distributed architecture, we feel that a concurrency control issue must be revisited and reviewed for this new evolving architecture, because this is the main drawback in the data grid architecture. For that only we are going for the cloud architecture. Then the distributed systems are potentially very reliable, and however performing an atomic transaction and considering the acid rules, that the strains of the distributed systems of an unsynchronized creature difficulties. The ANSI rules has some difficulty to attain the goal when network is failure. For this only we are going for the CCC protocol. That means concurrency, consistency, and control in grid system. Implementing the global log table, the log records is not practically possible in grid architecture due to the scalability issues. This is the main issues present in a grid architecture. In this paper, we propose a protocol called as CCC, that means 3CG in grid system, which can deal the consistency, concurrency, atomic, and distribution of a large volume data grid. We then examine the correctness of the protocol, followed by a performer validation through the simulation by the result of the simulation results. Here we are going to see the data flow of the process. Here the server will be get started first. After that, this user registration phase is make done. Here the user registration phase is nothing but to enter the user information into the particular server. Here we are going to see the data flow of the simple transaction management in a real world database. First of all, the client has the login and permission to access the particular server. The login and everything from the client is done through the grid architecture. Here the grid architecture has a CC verification, has to commit and roll back the process. Here the monitoring process is to monitor the what are the client transaction done through the server, and the CCC verification verify that whether the given transaction, that means either it is a login or a withdraw process. You are going to check verify that the process is committed or rollback. The process is done means then it will be committed to the database. If it not means then roll back to the previous one. This is the process done in the CC verification. The process allocation is used to here the grid architecture contains a number of resources. The process failure due to the resource failure, the process will be failure. For that, if a resource is failure means then the process will be allocated to the each and every users. Then it will check whether the resources fail or not. If it is fail means then process will be relocated. If it is not means then the process will be continued with the same resources. Here the server will be started and the every transaction in the is updated in the database. Here the client transaction makes the user to transfer to the grid architecture. Here the grid architecture plays a major role for CCC verification. The CCC protocol is used to commit and roll back the process when it is completed or not. Now we are going to see the demo of the process. Here there are three systems are there. One is a database server, and another is a grid network architecture, and another is a mobile user. The mobile user is in a mobility form, and the grid network architecture as well as the database server is in a fixed network. First of all, we have to start the bank server.java and click it and click run file in the branch menu. After that, a main window will be open. This is the server IP for the server. This is server IP, and this is the server port number to access the particular server. After that, we have to click the start server button to start the server. Here the message will be shown here, server is started and waiting for the client request. And then go to the grid network architecture and click CCC proc.java and right click it and click run file. Here the CCC proc, the session grid coordinator is plays a major role in transaction, because the CCC verifies the entire transaction whether it is a commit or rollback. That means it is failure or not. If it is failure means then process will be reallocated to the another process. The process is failure due to because of inefficiency of the resource. For that we have to click a CCC verification you have to click a CCC verification. A message will be shown. A monitoring is started. Here, the entire transaction will be done through the CCC itself. We are not the mobile user not going to access the database server directly. After that, click user login and click run file. Here we are going to enter the username and password for that. Here the username is an account number. Here is the 136541 is the username. That means account number, and password is you have to enter the password. Then click login. If it is access means, if it is original user means, then access will be granted. If it is not means, then we have to eject it automatically. And then again, this procedure is same for the n number of users. Here are going to start the another user again. The same what did for the user 1 is for user 2 also. Then click login. If his access granted means, then access will be granted and user will have used to use the bank server. Then here I am going to, my account number is current, and here I am going to deposit some money. As well as the same for this, we are going to withdraw some amount. After that, a new user is logged in as the third user. Here in this 44 and password is 4580587 and click login. Then access will be granted. Here the failure will be happened in the network, because here in a grid coordinator there is a 6 resources. Here we are going to allocate the resources based on the priority itself. Here the current user has the high priority and saving user has the less priority. For that, the first two resources are allocated to the high priority, that means current user, and the next following priorities are used for the savings. Here based on this, the IP wants to log in and allocate the process, inquiry verified wants to log in and process will be allocated to the particular source. Here the source one already process will be failure. For that we have to click the show button to show the failure process. Here 136541 is the failure process and the source name is source 1 and failed at which state the fail will be happen. At the inquiry state the failure will be happen. Then process allocate. This is our process allocation. Here after that reallocated it, the process will be reallocated to the source 3. Here the source 1 has the 114 and source 3 has the 136541. Here the entire process will be reallocated. After the reallocation, we are going to make the process easily and efficiently. If it is no process means, if it is no resource will be allocated means, available means, then the process will be waiting for some time. After the waiting time is over, we are going to make the process as continuous one. Here I am going to enter the deposit amount and click OK. Then the process will be added to particular server. Here this is the same process for the entire n number of users. Here I am going to enter the withdraw amount from that. The current balance is like that. After that, each and every transaction will be done over here. Here the what are all the thing happened in the server client side will be monitored in the server also. This is for the log based transaction for further users, because if any failure happens in a future means, we are going to access by using this log file. For this only we are going to verify this log file. Here the grid coordinator plays a major role for monitoring the server verification error. Here the commit and rollback is done by using a CCC protocol. which is called as cell and NIT. The cell is used to commit the protocol. If no failure occur, then VAD is used for roll back the previous process until they are going to be done. This is our whole process. We are going to show the full demo for that, how we prevent the failure during transaction. Thanks for watching this video.